so few people have ever heard about the Spendthrift Trust, and the rich know about it. So I want to help people save U.S. taxes.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely looking into talking a lot about that with you. One question that I asked at the very beginning, is there nothing that you know now that you wish you knew when you first started?
I started real estate investing when I was 53 years old. I wish I knew about the Spendthrift Trust before I got a $94,000 tax bill in the middle of COVID and had nothing coming in as income. So there's a lot I wish I knew it beforehand.
What is the Spendthrift Trust?
It comes from England way back when King Henry VIII, that famous king who chopped off his wives' heads, started the Church of England. He went to go tax the lords and ladies of England, and they went further back to the 13th century to the Magna Carta and said, oh, no, King Henry VIII, you can't do this. It's contract law that came to the colonies while we were still part of England. When our tax structure that we're under went into effect February of 1913, the super rich families of 1913, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Carnegies, and the Kennedys, made sure they could save taxes. Well, between you and me, if they can save taxes, we should be able to save taxes.
If they can do it, we can do it. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, and a lot of people, because I do a lot of, workshops and things of that nature where I also talk about ways that wealthy people save money on taxes. And one of the first questions that I ask, I say, is there anybody in here that hates when people find loopholes on how to pay taxes? And there's always, at least one or two, right? And then that's when I follow up with, don't be so sure of what you want that you wouldn't accept something better. If you had to choose between them not paying taxes, and when I say not paying taxes, I mean not paying voluntary taxes that if everything is structured correctly, that you don't have to pay. We're not trying to avoid illegal or avoid taxes, but we just don't want to pay the taxes that we don't have to pay. I say, would you rather they not pay those voluntary taxes, or would you rather you learn the secrets yourself? Usually people say they rather learn the secrets themselves.
Exactly. It's so important. And, follow the breadcrumbs that are out there. And, when I got hit on April 4th of 2020, middle of COVID, my 3 properties didn't pay me on April 1st. I had $50,000 saved for my capital gains. And I was told by my CPA I owed $94,000. I mean, I was devastated. Wow. I was doing everything correctly. And I'm like, why do people get away with paying taxes? It took me 5 months to research this. And this is why I'm glad you have me on your podcast, because I want other people to know there is a solution. The Amazons of the world, the time when Amazon got free land in Staten Island, they turned it down. My brother lost his brewery because his rents went so high, it didn't make sense keeping the brewery open anymore. That's just not fair. The playing field should be level for everybody.
And as this is compared to a lot of other things, because there's a lot of access to knowledge, and a lot of people like to say knowledge is, and usually when you say that, everybody says power. Well, actually, knowledge is only potential power. Applied knowledge is power. And it sounds like you were very motivated, because to get a $94,000 tax bill, and knowing that, all right, I don't got the money to pay this, it sounds like that forced you to not just learn about this, which a lot of people do. Unfortunately, 99 out of 100 people that listen to this podcast, they're going to be like, oh, that's very good information. And usually only one goes. Is that the reason that made you apply knowledge, is because you were facing such a big bill? Or have you always been the person who learns and applies knowledge?
I'm going to be honest. I learn and apply knowledge. My background was competitive intelligence. I worked for the World Bank for several in the IFC, the only part that makes money. I was the director of research at Monster.com. I always had to tell them to stop, go. But, there had to be a better way. I had read an article about the Rockefeller Spendthrift Trust maybe about 4 years before this all came together. And I'm just like, why did I do something 4 years earlier or before I became a real estate investor? Because I had the knowledge, but it took me 4 years to put into place, which was poor on my part.
What's competitive intelligence?
Competitive intelligence is trying. Have you ever done a SWOT analysis? Strengths, weaknesses,
Yes.
opportunities, and things. So when I was working for Monster.com, the job board, at the time they were buying all these companies to boost their Monster, and I had to give them the go or not go on all the different things. When I was what do you call it? Temporary worker. I wasn't hired by the World Bank. I was working for a staffing company. I was going through all the proposals for the senior vice president, telling him why he should look at something or why he shouldn't look at something. So I was doing the SWOT analysis or the competitive intelligence on different things. So I know how to do research, and when I got motivated, I mean, I literally went to bed April 4th, 2020, crying because I knew I needed another $24,000 and I didn't know who to go to ask for help. I woke up the next morning. Have you ever read the book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy?
I have not, but I do read a lot of books that talk about using your subconscious mind to manifest and, do things like that.
Exactly. Well, Joseph Murphy's book is from the 1930s, so some of his examples are a little bit old, but he says, put your thought into your head and you'll wake up with something. Next morning, I woke up. I did 7 wholesale deals on bank-owned properties in 2019, paid off all my debt, completely debt-free. I contacted a friend of mine who did HELOCs. So I got a HELOC off my paid-off townhouse, defeats the purpose of being paid off. So I had some money coming in. And then that's when I started researching the Rockefeller Spendthrift Trust. I found everything online. There's a book out there. Have you heard of someone named Garrett Gunderson?
No, I usually am able to say yes, but I like this because you're telling me about people I've never heard of. What about that person?
He had a book called What the Rockefellers Do. I have a paperback copy of it. He had to change the title of the book. It's now called What the Billionaires Do. But he breaks down exactly what the Rockefellers do. They use a special kind of insurance called infinite banking, plus the trust to save taxes and make more money and keep the money in the family. And I'm like, if they can do it, let me get my little. I've got 2 brothers, 2 sister-in-laws, and 7 nieces and nephews. I'm setting them up to survive, to win, if that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense because what you're talking about is them, because a lot of people bet on a lot of things, right? Yes. People bet on horses, they bet on dogs, but they don't utilize a lot of the things that they absolutely know that's going to happen. What we know that everybody's going to pass away. And we know that there is a vehicle called life insurance. And one thing that people don't know about life insurance is the people in the field, life insurance, because you have life insurance and annuities. Annuities liquidate an estate. Life insurance creates an estate, right?
Also, life insurance is tax-free.
Yes. Internal Revenue Code 72E 7702 and 101A.
You know your tax code. Yes.
Oh, absolutely.